Great to have your company on this very special year-in review of Delhi Capitals, or should I strictly say Delhi Daredevils, because that's how they were known in the last edition of Vivo IPL. Look, they had a fantastic team. They always assemble a wonderful team. They also, in fact, had the homecoming of one of the Delhi boys in Gautam Gambhir, and therefore there was a little bit more steel to that core of Delhi Daredevils. But what transpired after that is something that the fans of Delhi wouldn't exactly want to remember. And therefore, tonight on this very special edition, we go back in time to figure out the best and perhaps not so best moments of Delhi. The new Delhi, from Delhi Daredevils to Delhi Capitals. With gaps to fill, there was plenty of action at the auction. But can they win the title? That is the big question as we go through their SWOT analysis. And a season of two halves, with Gautam and without Gautam. One of the things that the fans of Delhi would have really hoped to see was the captaincy skills of Gautam Gambhir, besides his ability to bat as well at different positions in the batting order. Remember, Gautam Gambhir back to Delhi after having led Kolkata Knight Riders so very successfully. So there was so much anticipation that was around in the air. But I'm afraid things didn't exactly go according to script.
One of the most highly anticipated moves of Vivo IPL 2018 was the homecoming of Delhi boy and captain Gautam Gambhir. Back where he started, Gambhir was keen to resurrect Delhi's poor Vivo IPL fortunes.
That's going to be 4, and I like the way he started off today. It's just proper batting. And there again, that's a good shot. That's the talent he possesses. That's a mere push.
A good start with the bat for him and his team against Punjab. But Delhi could not get off to a winning start. Luck was not favouring Delhi as they lost a close game versus Rajasthan in a rain-affected game.
RR clinched this game by 10 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis turn method.
Continuing their away games, Delhi this time got the better of slow starters Mumbai Indians, chasing a mammoth 195 to win. Englishman Jason Roy and Rishabh Pant were the chief architects of this victory. Next game was an emotional one as Gautam returned to his previous franchise, KKR. Delhi's bowlers took a hammering as KKR piled up 200 runs. Gambhir failed with the bat once again, failing to inspire his team at the Eden Gardens.
Not very well here. Might be good through the onside.
Batting first, Gautam Gambhir once again was dismissed early. But the youngsters Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant took the attack to RCB. But Delhi's bowlers were in for an ABD special.
Oh, he's hit the run!
As he single-handedly took the match away from Gambhir. Playing at home for the first time against Punjab, Delhi fans and Gambhir were desperately seeking some luck. Change in tactics, change in batting, trying out new bowlers. This was Gambhir's last throw of the hat. Chasing 144 to win, Delhi kept losing wickets at regular intervals. But with Iyer still at the crease, Delhi fans had hope. But as had been the case all season so far, Delhi lost once again.
Gautam Gambhir tried almost everything. In his final game as the skipper of Delhi, there were as many as 5 changes, hoping that there will be a reversal of fortunes, but that was not to be. So that was that, unfortunately, as far as Gautam Gambhir and the captaincy for Delhi was concerned. And therefore, in anticipation of something absolutely new, they threw in a young Shreyas Iyer as the captain of the Delhi side.
It was time to pass the baton. Shreyas Iyer was now the man in charge. Playing his first game as captain, Iyer led from the front with a cracking 40-ball 93, taking Delhi to 219 runs.
Short again. Good shot. Comes straight again. It's another 6. Would you believe it? Fantastic hitting.
His bowlers backed him as KKR fell well short of the target. Off to a winning start, it seemed luck would now favour Iyer and team. But it wasn't to be, as MS Dhoni and team demolished the Delhi attack.
He's gone deep. Another big one.
Fighting 50s by Rishabh Pant and Vijay Shankar could not do enough to pull off a win. The next home game was against the Rajasthan Royals, who saw yet another powerful batting display by Delhi.
Wow. Sounded so good.
But all hopes of resurrecting the season were dashed as Delhi succumbed to 3 consecutive losses. Playing Sunrisers Hyderabad first at Hyderabad and then another loss in the return leg. Youngster Rishabh Pant once again got going, but Delhi was not prepared for the Kohli and AB de Villiers show.
Kohli says, welcome to the IPL. Just picks up the length and says, thank you very much. Cut away into the gap. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Just the way to finish it. An AB positive.
The last 2 matches of the league stages were now just consolation as Delhi first beat eventual champions Chennai Super Kings and then followed it up by beating a hapless Mumbai Indians. Some silver linings through the second half was the form of the orange cap holder Rishabh Pant, young under-19 sensation Prithvi Shaw,
This is big.
and the exciting Nepalese leggy Sandeep Lamichhane.
And Shreyas Iyer started on a very, very positive note. At the end of it, when you look back at that season, Delhi managed to win 6 games, which is not too bad considering the start that they had. Yes, they did not finish exactly where they wanted to. They finished at number 8 in the points table, but there was a bit of a silver lining because when you look at the number of runs that were scored by some of the players there, that to me is the core, not just perhaps of Delhi, but going forward perhaps of India as well. And then of course, as far as the bowlers are concerned, Trent Boult has always been that wonderful left-arm fast bowler. Amit Mishra, again, one of the more consistent performers as far as Vivo IPL is concerned. And Harshal Patel chipping in with 7 wickets. It's perhaps now the dawn of a new era as far as Delhi are concerned. It is no more Delhi Daredevils. It will now be addressed as Delhi Capitals with the influx of the group JSW.
"11 seasons, 2 semi-finals, 1 playoff and 4 times at the bottom of the points table. There is a reason every Delhi fan looks to Vivo IPL every year hoping for things to change. And things are changing. Delhi Daredevils renamed themselves to be called the Delhi Capitals.
Reshaping this team, and it's been phenomenal. One of the first few things Kiran told me was that he wants to change the name. He wants a new look, new feel, and that suited us really well. And we're very excited by the name we've chosen because we think it's synonymous with the city Delhi.
The most exciting thing now is that my home, our home, is coming up with a new look this season. This is New Delhi.
But before this change happened, Delhi released 3 players from their squad to acquire the services of top-order sensation and local Delhi boy Shikhar Dhawan. Having started his IPL career with Delhi, Dhawan moved on to playing for Hyderabad. He was traded in for Vijay Shankar, Shahbaz Nadeem and Abhishek Sharma.
मैं आप लोगों को बता नहीं सकता कि मुझे कितनी खुशी हो रही है दोबारा दिल्ली के लिए खेलने की। 11 साल के बाद मैं अब दोबारा दिल्ली के लिए खेलूंगा और उसी जुनून और ढेर सारे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ मैं वापसी आ रहा हूं।
On one side, when Dhawan made a comeback, another local boy, Gautam Gambhir, decided to make his exit, retiring from all forms of cricket. Apart from Gambhir, Delhi released English opener Jason Roy, Mad Max Glenn Maxwell, Pacers Mohammad Shami, Dan Christian, Shayan Ghosh, Liam Plunkett and Junior Dalla. Naman Hoja and Gurkeerat Maan were also let go of. After the auction, Delhi traded off all-rounder Jayant Yadav to Mumbai. Now, with more than 25 crores in their purse, Delhi Capitals had all the money to make strategic purchases. They needed experienced all-rounders and a good Indian pacer.
Interesting changes as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned. But what is the overall vision? Where are we headed as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned? Mayanti Lankar posed a few questions to Mustafa Ghosh, who's the CEO of JSW Sports, and of course the top man at JSW in Mr. Parth Jindal.
I think the biggest thing, Mustafa, you here as well joining us in terms of just renaming this franchise and this team. A lot of teams do that. We've seen it before. What was the intention behind and why did you settle on Capitals?
So I think there are two parts to it. Yes, a lot of teams do that and have tried to reinvent. But I think for us, because it was new ownership and a new beginning, we felt that having a new name and would be the start of something fresh for all of us. And we did a fair bit of brainstorming, with everyone involved. And somehow Capitals was a name that really stood out because it is what Delhi is, and it resonates with the city. And we felt that it was very strong and powerful in terms of how we want to present ourselves. But I think the most important is what we do from here. You can always rebrand and rename, but how you build that and how you perform is more important, and that's the area of focus for us going forward.
Speaking of that brand, when you look at last season, the brand that Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer, those sort of young, that sort of attitude, ambitious players. Look at where Rishabh Pant is today. I'm sure as a team you're so impressed with that and so happy for him. You've of course got the young Prithvi Shaw as well, who's again in the India mix, and you bring the Dilli the Munda back, Shikhar Dhawan.
No, I think it was a remarkable opportunity. You don't get an opportunity to get someone like Shikhar back to Delhi.
What was the conversation like with Parth?
It was Hyderabad's called. They're interested in trading Shikhar, and I was like, why? Why would they ever be interested in trading Shikhar when he's scoring 400 plus runs every IPL season consistently? He's the opener for India in one days and in T20s, for a short time in tests as well, and he's such a charismatic person and such a crowd puller. So we were very ecstatic because last year, if you look at our stats, our opening partnership was extremely problematic. We had Jason Roy, who played a couple of games, we had Munro, who played a couple of games, and we had Gambhir, obviously, who played a couple of games, and then we had Prithvi Shaw, who came out and really made a name for himself. But Prithvi's young, he's learning all the time, and there's no one better to teach him other than Shikhar. So when you put experience and youth together, that's what we're really trying to do.
Always good to hear from people who have contributed immensely to the cause of Indian sport. Right, then it's time now to head into a very quick break right here. But when we come back, we shall understand the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and of course the threats that are facing Delhi Capitals. Great to have your company back here on a very special year in review of Delhi Capitals. We saw what Delhi was all about in 2018, but what's in store for us as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned in year 2019? They've released quite a few players. They have let go of the likes of Glenn Maxwell, and which also meant that they needed a strong core. They also needed a strong Indian bowling lineup. Let's quickly take a look as to what they have gone ahead and bought at the auctions.
With the second highest purse at the Vivo IPL auction, the rebranded Delhi Capitals had the money to put up a balanced squad.
We have a lot of good youngsters in the team, but we're missing that bit of experience, and we're very excited to fill those gaps in our squad so that we have the youth, and we have some experience.
We have number 7, 007, Hunama Vihari.
It did not take too long for Delhi to start bidding.
Thank you, I have an opening bid with the Delhi Capitals.
Delhi went for the second man up for bidding, all-rounder Hanuma Vihari.
Rajasthan Royals come in at 55.
A bidding war began with the Rajasthan Royals.
At 70 we have. 70. Ahead of the Royals at 70. 75, well done, at 75. 80, straight back to Delhi at 80 lakhs. At 80 with the bid there, at 80. 85, thank you sir, 85. 85 I have, you would, 90 bid. 90 lakhs is the bid now. At 90.
At 95 lakhs, Mumbai jumped in.
Thank you, Mumbai. Welcome to you.
Overtaking Delhi, but the northern side snapped up Vihari for 2 crores.
Sold to you, sir. Thank you. 200 lakhs. Well done. We have number 11. Number 11, Axar Patel.
Kings 11, who had released Axar Patel just before the auction, were interested in getting him back.
Delhi goes 150.
But Delhi entered the bid and started giving the Kings a tough fight.
190, 200 bid, 220 back with Delhi Capitals, 240 back in the bidding, 260 Delhi, 280 Kings 11, 300, 320 Kings 11, 340, 340, 360, 380, 400 we move on. Thank you, sir. 420.
The war went on for a long time, but Delhi, who were keen on adding a quality Indian all-rounder to their mix, outbid Punjab to get Axar for a whopping 5 crores.
We're selling to Delhi for 500 lakhs. Thank you, sir. Yours, 500.
For us, the strategy was that, we're really missing a left-arm spin bowler as well as an Indian all-rounder. And we feel that Axar really does that job for us. So he was our number one pick going into the auction. And frankly, I was quite surprised that we only had to pay 5 for him.
Ishant Sharma is number 23.
Another top buy for the Capitals was local lad Ishant Sharma.
75 lakh, anywhere at 75. Thank you, sir. Delhi Capitals start me off at 75.
Delhi showed interest straight away, making the opening bid for the veteran Indian pacer.
There is the bid. We have 75 with the Delhi Capitals at 75. Looking at every other table at 75 coming in anywhere else. 80 will be the next bid if you want, but we are holding in Delhi at 75 lakh, opening and possibly the closing bid, any advance. Delhi willing me to bring my hammer down at 80. 80, I'm afraid. 85 back to Delhi. Royals, what do you think?
The Royals eventually entered the bid, but Delhi refused to budge.
Well, thank you, sir. At 110, we're back in Delhi though, at 110 lakh.
They wanted a local player who could mentor some of the young bowlers in the team. And in Ishant, they got what they were looking for.
Obviously, Ishant Sharma knows Kotla incredibly well. So he's going to help our younger bowlers like Avesh Khan, Harshal Patel, even Nathu Singh. So it's great to have him back. And again, at 1 crore 10 lakhs, we feel that we got him at a steal.
Delhi's costliest buy was South Africa's Colin Ingram.
Any advance? 200 lakh?
A slightly lesser known Ingram has been around the circuit for a decade. Plying his trade for teams across the world, Ingram is an attacking middle order batsman. And having released Glenn Maxwell, Delhi needed a finisher to complete their squad. They began bidding for Ingram at his base price of 2 crores. Sunrisers immediately entered the fray and both teams were at loggerheads to buy Ingram.
It's at 400 at the moment. 420 I have now, thank you, 420. Come back to me, Delhi. Any more? Thank you, sir. 440, 460, 480. Thank you, sir. 500 we have. 500, 520 straight away. 540, 560, thank you, sir. 580. Now you have it at 600, Delhi. 600. What's he say? 600. 620. Worth waiting for. 640 though. Straight back. No more. Thank you, Eddie. It's another 40. 640 then. We've gone 640 to Delhi. And I'm going to sell. Thank you, Sunrisers. Delhi, you have Mr. Ingram.
In the end, the northern side prevailed and snapped Ingram at 6.4 crores, finally adding a T20 specialist.
So when we released Maxwell, we were very clear that we needed a finisher. Yeah. And when you look at the availability for next year's IPL, a lot of the English and Australian players, their availabilities are question marks. So when we see Colin Ingram, he's played in the subcontinent. He's obviously played in South Africa. And those are the 2 places where the IPL is likely to go, maybe. That's what we've been told. So, and he's a 2020 specialist. So for us, it made a great deal of sense to go the extra mile for him. He's got experience and he's shown in various countries that he can finish. So that's why we went for him.
Sherfane Rutherford had an explosive CPL in 2018. The 20-year-old top order batsman was on everyone's radar. Delhi already knew what they wanted. With their ideal squad in place, they wanted to add some Caribbean flavour.
With Delhi, 70 at the moment. 70 lakhs has it at 70. 75, 80, thank you, sir. 80, 80, whatever he looks like. 85, 90, at 90 with Delhi, KKR.
Going head-to-head with the Kolkata Knight Riders, the Capitals opened the bidding and eventually outbid the Knight Riders to get Rutherford for 2 crores.
200 now.
Delhi have a strong Indian core and a good mix of youth and experience in their squad.
Any more on the backsides, anywhere?
Will the complete overhaul and a change in name bring a change in fortunes as well?
There's quite a lot of interesting buys as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned. As usual, they've strengthened the Indian core. They've gotten Hanuma Vihari for 2 crores. They've gone ahead and gone for an Indian fast bowler in Ishant Sharma for 1.1 crore. That's a wonderful value for money, you would think. Akshar Patel has come for far cheaper than last time around for Kings 11 Punjab. So there are a few interesting picks as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned. But how would those translate into performance? Therefore, what are the strengths? Are there still weaknesses that they need to cover? Are there still opportunities for them going forward? And what exactly are the threats facing Delhi Capitals?
From Daredevils to the Capitals, Delhi have rebranded themselves and have a new identity. They spent their auction purse wisely, but will this rebranding work? Let's have a look at their SWOT analysis. The experienced Shikhar Dhawan will pair with Prithvi Shaw, making a left-right opening combination that can be the answer to Delhi's opening woes of the previous season. With Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant following Dhawan and Shaw, Delhi now have a formidable Indian top order in place.
Wow, good sound.
Veteran pacer Ishant Sharma's inclusion will bolster the bowling unit. Ishant can act as a mentor to the young Delhi bowlers like Avesh Khan and Harshal Patel and can use his knowledge of having played at the Firozshah Kotla Stadium. Colin Ingram has ensured that Delhi have a finisher to replace the released Glenn Maxwell. And an Indian-heavy batting unit gives the option to include quality foreign bowlers like Chris Morris, Kagiso Rabada and Trent Boult to the playing 11.
Should be taken. Shreyas Iyer, the skipper, does the job.
Delhi's biggest weakness last season was their bowling.
Goes this time. Brilliant.
An inconsistent bowling attack, they were hampered by Kagiso Rabada's absence. In the 2018 season, they had the worst economy rate among all other teams. Once again, Delhi look good on paper and have a squad filled with talented young individuals. Youngsters Rishabh Pant and Prithvi Shaw have made their mark at the international level, adding to their confidence. All eyes will be on the Nepalese leggy Sandeep Lamichhane, who has been playing T20 leagues all over the world.
This could be out. Lamichhane gets a wicket and he's bumped up.
With the World Cup around the corner, there is a possibility that their 2 Protea pacers might be unavailable for the tournament. And in their absence, Delhi lack effective options to replace them. A strong Indian batting order, a good mix of Indian and foreign all-rounders, and a good mix of youth and experience in their bowling, Delhi have all the makings of a fantastic team. Fans can only hope for an encore come Vivo IPL 2019.
Now that is a wonderful top order as far as Delhi fans are concerned, as far as any Indian fan is concerned, because the top 4 is as good as it can get with respect to the next generation. And then they can play around with a couple of those all-rounders, whether they are overseas or perhaps Indian, because you've got Akshar Patel in the mix. And as far as the fast bowlers are concerned, you throw in an Ishant Sharma, it gives you a completely different feel. So hoping that 2019 turns out to be a lot brighter than 2018 as far as Delhi Capitals is concerned. Hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did in getting this across to you. Until next time, with a completely different unit. This is Radhakrishnan Srinivasan signing off.